Gnothi Seuton, love, peace, blessing, all manner of health, wealth, healing, goodness, abundance, prosperity to you and your family. Something good is going to happen to you today. And very, very powerful. There's just a really, really neat teaching about the mirrors and about the different mirrors of our experience and what they're showing us and what they're actually saying to us, trying to mirror back to us the results that we are manifesting. And it's really, really cool, really powerful. I think probably one of the first place I got a real understanding and exposure to this concept was through Greg Braden's Speaking the Lost Language of God. And really, really powerful seminar. Lots of awesome, fantastic, groundbreaking information there. Really reveals a lot of the quantum world, quantum physics, and how they relate to us. But even probably, well, I can't say that anything's more powerful, but very, very powerful revelation was his way of explaining that our feeling is the actual prayer. And really, really cool the way he explains, the way he came across this understanding. And it is an understanding because it's something that we're already doing. It's something that we're already applying and practicing it, because we're always feeling. Everything that we have an experience of causes a feeling, and everything that we see, or especially when it comes to symbols, symbology is very, very powerful. Any type of word that we already associate with something, that all we have to do is hear the word and we have a response. This is all what's going on inside of us and is being mirrored back to us through our manifested world experience, through what we're experiencing every day, through the results that we have, and through especially through reoccurring patterns, reoccurring themes, things that just seem to keep repeating over and over again. And they're mirroring back to us our feelings, what we're truly feeling, our subconscious, what we truly believe. And why even talk about this? Why bring this to mind? Why bring this up? Well, because when we recognize what our mirrors are showing to us, we can recognize what's really going on inside of us and make adjustments. And because what happens is sometimes, especially if we've been pushed down into the reptilian mind, if we're living in fight or flight, if we're living in survival, then what happens is we're very distracted. It opens the door to a lot of fear-based emotions, and then our reticular activating system is identifying those same types of emotions and situations, and any type of opportunity, and instantly labeling them with that type of fear, and or just maybe negative emotion. And then that's what we keep reproducing, because it's what we keep on the screen of our consciousness. And whatever we're feeding into the screen of our consciousness is usually supported by or created by our subconscious, and then supporting beliefs that we have already come to conclusions about. And they're very, very limited, because all of that type of existence is based on what we can see. And what we can see is, I think it's 0.005% of total reality. And when you look at it that way, you think, wow, I'm basing all of my beliefs, all of my expectancy, all of my hopes, and basically all of my focus and concentration on such a very, very small portion of reality. And then it really leaves us nothing but a limited possibility to manifest in our life. And so with all of that, when we can start with Gnothi Seuton, know ourselves, recognize that we are the ones who are manifesting our own reality, and not all of it is conscious. As a matter of fact, most of it is subconscious, and a lot of subconscious programming was formed in our youth, and most of it was formed up until the point where we're 6 or 7 years old. And then that perception is what conditions everything that we come to conclusions of from there on out. And so when we recognize the mirrors around us and what they're saying to us, when we start practicing correspondence, when we start practicing the idea that this is a loving, kind, caring universe created by a loving, kind, caring, unconditional loving, unconditional forgiving, parental influence creator, that's the reality that we're actually living in, then we can start to recognize, hey, that reality, that influence is constantly communicating with us, constantly showing us, and is respecting our will, respecting our choice. We have complete and total freedom of choice. So there is no imposing any other positive will upon us. Our creator, what I consider our creator, what I call God, never imposes their will on us and always gives us freedom of choice. And so then some would say, since we've been programmed from a very early age, by an influence that is pretty much viewing humanity as a human resource, like the Matrix, we're basically a Duracell, a battery that supplies energy to a system that doesn't have its own energy but needs to manipulate the sheeple to be able to provide an energy source for it. But the truth is that we have freedom of choice. We have free will. And when we start to read the mirrors, when we start to recognize what the mirrors are reflecting back to us, we start to recognize any type of manipulation, any type of misinformation, any type of deception that is currently manifesting through us. And I always like to say to myself, okay, if I had the power to so clearly manifest something that was negative, then I have the exact same power to manifest something that is positive. And so we don't want to get down on ourselves, and of course there's no guilt, there's no condemnation, there's beating yourself up when you recognize that you've been manifesting something negative towards yourself and obviously towards your inner circle, those whom you are connected with. But you just recognize, okay, since I was able to do the negative, then I am equally able to do the positive. All we do is make a little switch of our mind, switch of our thinking, and thus the ancient teachings are available to us. The universe is mental. The universe and all creation is a creation of the mind, and we are constantly finishing that creation, adding to that creation, manifesting our own part of that creation on a daily basis in our own reality, which is always now. It is always now. It only ever has been now. It only ever will be now. And so that's why we don't want to carry or allow any type of influence to pile any type of baggage upon us or into our mind, because there is only ever now. And anything that we look back and call the past and have experienced, we can experience as our own wisdom. It's our own science experiment. It's our own, example and experience of how things work and how everything is truly working for us and working in our lives right now, because there's no denying what we have experienced. There's no denying what we know. And you can always tell the difference because there's no resistance to what we know. I love the way Abraham Hicks explains it, that there is only well-being flowing to us. The only energy that's flowing to us, the only creative energy that's flowing to us is well-being. And when we experience deception, when we experience misinformation, what we do is we block well-being from ourselves. And of course, that happens on many different levels. And, when someone's in a situation where, it's really bad, it's really negative, the last thing we want to hear is, we're manifesting that, we did that unto ourselves. Thus, that's where the mirrors come in. And that's where the loving, unconditional forgiving, true parental influence comes in, because it knows exactly how to help us, to heal us, to lead us out of where we are to where we want to be. And anybody else who, thinks that they know how to do that for somebody else, maybe have good intentions, but we're all, very complex, and it's real easy, especially if we've already experienced a freedom, we've already experienced a healing, we've already experienced a breakthrough in an area, and then of course that area is very obvious to us because we've experienced it, and we understand the way out. And sometimes things that look so clear and look so obvious to us just don't look that way to others, because their focus is on the situation and they just simply can't see, because they're surrounded by the negativity of the situation. That's why a higher wisdom, an infinite wisdom, a loving, kind, caring, true parental wisdom is required for us to be set free, for us to be released, for us to have any type of, true advance, true healing, true freedom. Because when we are connected to the truth, it's like the masters have been telling us, it's just like Yeshua, Jesus told us, know the truth and the truth shall make you free. And it really is true. And that isn't, you don't have to just be a confessing Christian to be able to experience that. Truth is universal. It applies to whatever religious discipline anyone is practicing. So it can apply to everybody. That's, the cool thing about Yeshua. He was speaking to all humanity, to all creation. And the cool thing about, everybody back then in that time, that they didn't call themselves Christians or Muslims or Hindus or Buddhists. Nobody had that type of name tag back then. They only called themselves based on where they were from. I mean, that's the only way they recognized each other, is where they were from. And even the early Christian believers were just known as, followers of the way. So again, all they were doing is they recognized that there is a way, and that there is a way that works for everybody. And they unconditionally shared that with everybody. And that's the true freedom, the true teaching, the true saving teaching that is given unto all of us, to be able to recognize the difference between something that serves, nourishes, heals our authentic self, and something that just simply doesn't do that. And again, we recognize the truth, and the truth truly does set us free. So with that, love, peace, blessing, all manner of health, goodness, and abundance, prosperity unto you and your family. Something good is going to happen to you today. Genothi Seutan. Namaste.